I'm an educational technologist in the area of language learning and language teaching. And I've been working in universities for many years, but I'm also a language learner. And people often ask me the question, do you think we can use ChatGPT to learn a language? And I think the answer to that question is it can massively help. It's quite amazing how the way I study Polish, the language I study now, is so different from the previous languages that I've studied, simply because of ChatGPT. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 examples of the sorts of things that I do with ChatGPT. And these will cover quite a few areas. For example, reading and listening and speaking and studying vocabulary, and to some degree as well, pronunciation. I really hope you like the video, and as always, if you do, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, but most of all, please join me on my YouTube channel, and don't forget to give me a few hype points. Let's get started. A lot of people don't realize that you can use ChatGPT for speaking. Now I'm going to click over here and click on this button here, and I want you to notice that I'm using the free tool. And I'm going to click on this button here. I'm logged in using Google Chrome browser. I'm going to click here and it switches me over to voice mode. ChatGPT, can we practice speaking in Spanish? I want you to ask me lots of questions about my life. Can you keep the questions very short, so that we have a kind of conversation where you're trying to get to know me? Please, no long questions, just short questions to ask about my life, my hobbies, what I do, etc. Can we do this in Spanish?
Claro que sí, vamos a hacerlo. Empecemos con algo sencillo. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres? ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre? Cuéntame un poco sobre tu trabajo o tus estudios. Adelante.
Can we just ask one question at a time, please? Not loads and loads of questions. Can we just do it one question at a time?
Por supuesto, sin problema. Empecemos con una pregunta a la vez. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Russell.
Mucho gusto, Russell. ¿De dónde eres?
Bueno, soy inglés, pero he vivido mucho tiempo en el extranjero, en España, en Grecia y ahora en Polonia. Now, when you're in conversation mode, just click on the cross there to actually close the window, and it will actually give you the transcript from the recording or from the conversation that you've just had. So notice here that I could come down to the conversation and I could click on something. Let me just click on this one as an example and click on replay, and it will actually play me the conversation.
¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre?
Okay, and I can do the same here as well.
Qué genial. Entonces, ¿qué tipo de música te gusta tocar en la guitarra?
But notice also that it's really important to be very, very specific to ChatGPT. Remember, you can do this in multiple languages. I practice using it for French, for Spanish, for Polish, particularly now. And you don't have to give the instructions in English. You can give the instructions in whatever language you speak and tell it the language you want to practice. But be specific about the level, about what you want to talk about how you want the conversation to be. Particularly telling it, please, one question at a time, or keep the questions very short. But it is incredibly helpful. ChatGPT will do a really good job of writing text, and I'm going to show you an excellent trick in ChatGPT that a lot of teachers and students don't know about. So let's now look at getting it to write a story, but then I'm also going to get ChatGPT to read out the story and show you an alternative way of doing that if you don't like the pronunciation in ChatGPT. So I've clicked on new chat for this, and I want you to click on the plus button. This is really important. Come down to more and select Canvas, and you'll see in a minute why. Because basically everything that I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put into one document so that I haven't got to copy and paste anything. Canvas is basically like painting onto a document. So now I could write my instructions, but I'm actually going to give my instructions to ChatGPT. Remember, you can give your instructions in multiple languages. I'm going to give my instructions in English, but I'm going to get it to write something for me in Polish. Can you write for me a short text of about 250 words in Polish about the life of Jan Tomaszewski, who was a goalkeeper in Poland in the 1970s? Can you write this for a Polish student learning Polish, and I want it at level B1, so a kind of intermediate level of Polish, so not too difficult. Press the tick. Now send it by clicking on the arrow, and hopefully it's going to generate for me now a text. And notice that it's pasting that text into this kind of canvas, and you'll see in a minute that this is super useful. First of all, why have I asked it to put it into a canvas? Well, watch this. I'm now going to say to ChatGPT to extract 10 of the most difficult words and add them at the beginning of the text, so that I kind of study these words before I actually read the text. So I'm going to click here. Can you select 10 of the most difficult words from that text and place them above the text in the canvas and provide me with the translation of those difficult words into English, so that I can study these words before I start to read the text? Click. And now I'll send that. What it's going to do is going to make the canvas again, but this time it's going to add those words at the top before we get the text underneath. And this is absolutely fantastic because I've got it all together in one document. This is the reason really for the canvas, because it allows us to kind of build up. Notice that we can download the canvas, so we can click here and just download that as a PDF or as a Word document, or just simply as a markdown document, okay? But also, if we come down here, let's imagine that we wanted to add something underneath the text. We could simply just click here, and I'm going to say, can you add into the canvas 8 true or false questions after the text to check my understanding? And now it's going to add this element to the canvas as well. So we're building up this whole kind of lesson plan that we can do either as a teacher, and we've got the words, we've got the text, and notice now in a minute that it's going to add the true or false questions as well. There you can see it's going to put up the true or false questions as well. So this is a really good way of actually generating content that you can then work with. One tip you will need though is that you will need the answers to the true or false questions. So you imagine now, if I wanted to, I could download this as a lesson for myself or for my students in Polish, if I was teaching Polish. And of course you could do this in multiple languages. Just a super quick break from the video. If you want more free videos, come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. I specialize in technologies for language teachers and for language students. If you're a teacher, you might also want to join up to the newsletter. If you join up to the newsletter, there is actually a free 14-part mini course in the key technologies that we can use in teaching and learning, and nearly everything I share with you is free. And if you want to take it a little bit further and actually have direct training with me, I do have a Patreon group. It's quite popular, and that way you get 3 additional videos every month, and of course there's no advertisements in the videos, and more importantly you get to meet me online once a month where we work with a technology and look how we could use it in the class with our students. Right, let's get back to the video. Now we've got here the text, and I'm going to copy this text, and that's very easy. I'm just going to hold my mouse over and just copy that text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a free technology called Love Voice. And you don't even need to sign in to Love Voice. I just want you to scroll down and you can paste your text in, okay? And what I'm going to do now, below the text, I can choose the language. So in my case, it's going to be Polish, but you've got English, you've got Spanish, you've got absolutely masses of other languages here, notice as well. So you have to work your way through and find your language. Just look how many languages there are here. I've got Polish, which is great. I'm going to click on Polish. Now I've got various voices that I can choose from. I'll choose Marek, and I'm going to generate the audio from that text that I've generated from ChatGPT.
Jan Tomaszewski to jeden z najbardziej znanych polskich bramkarzy w historii piłki.
Okay, now I think that's absolutely fantastic. I've got the audio now that goes with that text, and notice that I can download that audio as well. And also I can even click here and play it back at a slower speed if I want to. And this is something that I often do. If I've taken a text, then what I do afterwards is that I get the audio from that text as well. And I like this tool because it's free and it offers multiple accents, and I'm really glad to say that it's got an example in Polish. Lovevoice.com is completely free. Keep in mind that you can also use Love Voice to help you with pronunciation. You can either paste in the words that you want to learn or write them in, but you know, if I wrote in a couple of words in English, I'm going to write accommodation, and let's just do a couple, photographer, but of course I could do more. Okay, let's put in the word fragile, to just do 3 examples to show you what I mean. And then I obviously would come down, and this time I'd be working in English, so I'd click here and find one of the English accents there at the top. I'm going to choose, for example, Australian English, and I'll choose William, and I click again on generate, and it's going to allow me to listen to William reading out those words for me, so then I could practice them and copy. And this is actually something I do quite a lot in Polish, often with phrases, because you know, Polish pronunciation is quite difficult.
Accommodation, photographer, fragile.
And again, I could also download that as well. Okay, hope that video was useful. I'm going to leave another video on the screen now that you might find very useful if you're a language teacher or a language student. It's all about the magic button in Google Translate that a lot of people don't know about. And this video has already generated more than 100,000 views. And I'll put that on the screen now if you want to access it. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to like it, and if you can, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. So if you were interested in studying a bit more with me, then obviously the first thing you could do is sign up to the newsletter. And don't forget, if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll get that free mini 14-part course which highlights some of the key technologies that teachers and students are using to learn and study languages. The second thing you can do, particularly if you're a teacher, is to join me on Patreon. Now, if you join me on Patreon, you will get 3 videos a month, and these videos are exclusive to Patreon. I often cover technologies that I don't even cover on YouTube. These are really for teachers, and there are lots of practical ideas about using technology in your teaching and learning. But not only that, you'll actually meet me once a month live online. And it's a chance for us to actually practice using some of these technologies. Now, if you can't make the live sessions, of course, I record them for all my Patreons. Now, at the moment, there's a special offer as well. If you join Patreon, which is only $6 a month, and you can leave at any time, you will also get access to all of the videos that I've already put up on Patreon, which is 2 years worth of content. The last thing that you can think of doing is joining me on my very popular course, which is called Technologies and Approaches to Blended, Hybrid and Teaching Online. It's very popular. I do that in conjunction with NILE. That's a 6-week course that includes 6 meetings with me online, as well as lots of material that you have to work through, and you have to build an e-portfolio. It's one of the most successful courses I've ever run, and again, that is exclusively for language teachers. You can click on the link below and get more information about that. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave some videos on the screen now and some useful playlists that you might find helpful.